But onto other things, and Pandora, Wimbledon starts tomorrow. Princess Catherine's a patron of the event. Are we expecting her to attend?
Yeah, look, if we look at previous years, ladies, I can very much imagine that Catherine will be there. Of course, nothing has been officially confirmed yet, but that is my informed guess, is what I would say about that. Of course, this will be one of her few public appearances this year. She absolutely loves tennis. In fact, she is a patron of the All England Tennis Club, but she actually does play there too on a personal basis. You know that she is actually friends with a fair few of the tennis players themselves on, again, a personal basis. So not only is this a wonderful role for her to have taken up, but of course it's actually a personal one for her too. So she will make sure that she does not miss it unless she absolutely needs to. Expect her to be in the final couple of days is what I would say, and keep eyes on perhaps finals day on the second week, but it does start tomorrow, and I'm sure even the days that she's not there, you can expect the Duchess of Gloucester and various other members of the royal family to partake in the royal box. So keep a beady eye on it, but of course everyone's sort of waiting for Catherine to appear, aren't they, as they are every single year. But it's a brilliant event, and of course it's quite easy for her to get to as well. So yes, all eyes on the All England Tennis Club.
And Louise, we've just had Royal Ascot, but Wimbledon's another one of those occasions where the Royals are all out and about. What's the history there, and what else can we expect during the tournament?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think with Wimbledon too, it's very much a soft focus and soft power moment for the female members of the royal family. Of course, Diana in the 80s and 90s, when she was a member of the royal family, was a permanent fixture at Wimbledon and would often use it to sort of debut a new look or a new hairstyle or a new fashion, and we'd all scurry down there to cover this and write 10 pages of copy afterwards because it was so important what Diana was wearing. It actually took the focus of what was happening on, Court 1, for example. And of course, the Queen too, on occasion, did go to Wimbledon, but she wasn't a massive tennis fan. So I think there was only about 4 or 5 visits in her lifetime, despite being president of the LTA for a long time as well. We have the Duchess of Gloucester, the lovely Brigitte from Denmark, who is now the current sort of royal face of Wimbledon, apart from Catherine herself, and they share a lot of similarities in that sort of serene, outlook on life, and very sort of dignified, and also a genuine love of tennis. Of course, Catherine, as we've discussed, is a tennis fan and played in high school, I believe, and also at university. So it's a very genuine connection there, and I really hope we see her there tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope we see her there too. And Pandora, onto the Sussexes. And Harry's made some interesting comments this week that in 2018, Meghan was the most trolled person in the world. Here's a grab.
The digital world was so important to us is because my wife in 2018 was the most trolled person in the world. So there was a lived experience in that.
Look, I don't think it's fair, Pandora, that anyone is trolled, so to speak. But when, like we said earlier in relation to the Wowsers, when you're in the public sphere, there's going to be criticism. The World Privacy Tour didn't quite turn out the way that we thought that it would. But so why is he bringing this up now?
Yeah, so this was the Nexus conference. Now, if you think back to a couple of years ago, if Harry was appearing in New York, it would be sort of like front page headlines, but he does so many of these conferences and appearances now, it sort of seeps into the back because, of course, this is now becoming a regular thing for him because they have to be financially independent. Of course, I'm not privy to how much he got paid to speak, if he got paid to speak at all in New York, but that just goes to show sort of like the prevalence of them really now taking part of headlines. And of course, as you said, privacy is so important to them. He is trying his best he can to link back to actually quite a noble cause, which is children who have unfortunately and very tragically committed suicide. And part of the reasons as to why they have committed suicide is online trolling and social media. So that is what he is trying to link back to, which of course is an extremely important cause. But we know Meghan got trolled. We are not saying Meghan got trolled and that is good. We are saying Meghan got trolled and that is bad and it should never have happened. But this was in 2018. And if he keeps on linking back to this, then I sort of think it sort of takes away from the really important matter at hand and the important topic, which is those children, the families now having to deal with the loss of their child from social media.
Absolutely.
And now the headline actually is Meghan, not that. So I think he really needs to think about how he is communicating that message across and how he is standing up for those families and really ensuring that that cause hits the headlines, not Meghan being trolled, which we have heard about many, many times before.
A very fair observation. Now, Louise, still with Meghan and onto her releasing more products under her As Ever label, there's been a few observations about her allegedly white labelling products, apparently some of them with a hefty markup. What's the story here?
Well, yes, and she's been dubbed Meghan Markup because the products are hibiscus tea and a lemon herbal tea, apparently 12 tea bags for $12 US, which works out at about $18 Australian, I think. Sold out immediately. There was some honey on there as well, orange blossom honey, $42 Australian, also sold out immediately. And some internet sleuths, probably not the biggest fans of Meghan, sort of did a bit of a deep dive into her website and found out that the company that she bought the tea from was actually called the Republic of Tea. They have their own website, and the same product, they allege, was being sold for a third of the price on their actual website. So Meghan had sort of jacked up the price by, 3 times in order to justify being on the As Ever website. Again, this is all the allegations that have been put to her, hence the name Meghan Markup. But what we've discovered is that the name of that tea company is being quietly taken off the website. And her team have said, well, yes, we did buy the tea from them, but it was a different blend. So kind of trying to justify the price on that. So in a cost of living crisis, if you've got that sort of money to spend on 12 tea bags, then amazing, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to you. But, and it's amazing the work that those online sleuths will do, whether it's fashion or whether it's tea bags, they dig an awful lot on the royal family and those associated with them. It's absolutely fascinating to watch. Louise Roberts, Pandora, Forsyth, thank you so much for joining us.